Hi guys, it's me, Joel Jumpman, and I've got some terrible news. I'm gonna die today! A guy on the internet just told me so. I know what you're thinking. Joel, why would you trust a guy on the internet? But his argument is flawless.
Arguing on the internet, a top contender for the most pointless activity. But with all the arguments online, some of them are just bad. Like the ones against Christianity you find. Think about it. If arguments on the internet actually proved that God doesn't exist, would there still be more Christians in the world than people who've been rickrolled? One of the most famous internet arguments against God is, if God is real, could he create a rock so heavy that he can't lift it? If he can create the rock, but not lift it, there's something he can't do. But if he can't create it, that's also something he can't do, which means he's not all-powerful. Checkmate, Christians! But this argument is bad, because the people who make it don't understand God. If we go back to Sunday school, you might remember that God created the heavens and the earth, and that also includes all the systems of the universe, like gravity. Now, since God is the creator of rocks and gravity, it seems a bit weird to talk about him being affected by the weight of a rock. It's kind of like asking if Shigeru Miyamoto could code Bowser to be so strong that he couldn't beat him in a fistfight.
Turtles can't punch you.
Creator and creation are not on the same plane of existence. God is as removed from gravity as Miyamoto is from Bowser's fists. The argument also falls apart when you look at what it asks God to create. Can he create a rock that's too heavy to lift? Well, God's usually defined as an omnipotent being, which means he can do anything. And he can definitely deadlift better than any of us. But if we're talking about a rock that's too heavy for an infinitely powerful being to lift, that can't really exist. An infinitely heavy rock is about as reasonable as a round square, or a married bachelor. It doesn't exist. It can't, not logically. A bachelor, by definition, isn't married. A square isn't round. If God's omnipotent, all-powerful, all-strong, then there's no such thing as a rock that's too heavy for him to lift. So that question is about as coherent as Charles Martinet's Italian. Christians maintain that God is logical. It's part of his character. He couldn't do something against his character like lie, or make a round circle, or make an impossible rock, any more than Nintendo could make a bad Mario game.
Bad example.
But you get my point. God not lifting an imaginary rock doesn't disprove God's existence any more than the lack of a Miyamoto v Koopa Fight Night disproves Shigeru Miyamoto.
Overall, I think I've learned not to trust every argument on the internet, but to come up with good counter-arguments for them. Which reminds me, I've come up with the perfect counter-argument for that guy from the internet.